Hey everyone, it's time for my August wrap-up, and I actually have some books and videos to talk about for a change, which really makes me happy. But before we do that, I want to mention why my hand is bandaged. Nothing bad happened, I just finished refurbishing my hallway. You know that I tore out some of the carpet, I finished up and tearing out the rest of the carpet Thursday and Friday night, and discovered I really needed to finish painting it because the floor underneath the rest of my hallway wasn't really good and it was kind of splintery and there were nails, so I needed to take care of that. And unfortunately I decided to sandpaper it superficially by hand. That's why my hand is bandaged now. It's nothing bad, it's just hurting from exhaustion. But my new hallway looks pretty nice. I really like it. Now that's out of the way, let's talk about the videos I uploaded. We had 2 bookish discussions this month. The first one was about book reviews and what we can expect and cannot expect from them, especially from my point of view, considering trigger warnings and spoilers and things like that. And I really liked your comments and I appreciated how nice everyone was. And also sharing what you expect from a review and what you think a review can do. That was really interesting to read. Thanks for that. The second discussion we had was about hype books and the question more or less why we hype flawed books, because everyone knows that we read a book, we expect to read a great book because everybody loves it and we're like, nah, I don't see it. It has so many problems. And I really liked the discussion about that. One thing I want to mention is I shouldn't have said perfect. I wasn't literal when I said perfect book. It was just to be as an opposite to the flawed. I know there is no perfect book. I don't even think there is, but it was just a exaggeration. I sometimes do that. Apart from that, your comments were really amazing. I really enjoyed how a lot of you said, yes, I do that too. I read less critical when I really like a book and I expect more from a book that is hyped and read it more critical and how that affects the reading and the books. Loved that discussion. Thank you all for participating. In another video I told you about my current work-life situation and I really appreciated your comments, your support and your nice words and understanding. Yeah, general putting up with me talking about work life. So actually there have been some interesting changes going on, putting me in a position where I definitely know that I don't want to continue working at my company in this job, in the position like it is right now. Also because it's probably not possible. In the recent weeks, we had a new CEO and he wants to change things. So there are a lot of organizational changes, which leads to dismantling my department. We are all going to work in different departments and joining different groups, and that is taking actually away one of the things I really liked. I liked the people that I worked with and I liked the offices we had. And moving will not be a nice place too. So I'm in the applying process again. And of course I wrote a letter to August this month. And I really don't know why, but I had a lot of blurry images from everything that I filmed this month. So it's mainly the boat tour we took in Boston. But it was fun. Thanks for your comments and watching. So now let's talk about the books, and there were kind of many. The first book I finished in August was The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. And if you've seen my review, you know I didn't like it. I wasn't expecting to have it so little plot and to be so hypocritical and the characters and basically a little bit preachy while being hypocritical. And it reads rather nicely, the writing is nice, but there's nothing to grab you to it. And since I didn't really love the characters and was really bummed with all the categorizing and labeling and judgmentalism that was going on, I was just like, I really don't like it. Then I picked up The Gunslinger by Stephen King again, because I kind of thought I can read the whole series before the movie starts, which of course I couldn't, but I noticed rereading this that I could fly through it. And remember that in the beginning of the year it took me 3 months to read this short book and I had problems understanding it. I don't know what was wrong with my brain back then. But now I flew through it in a weekend. I really enjoyed it. I really got a lot out of it, which of course happens when you reread a book, but nevertheless I enjoyed it so much that I picked up the drawing of the 3 afterwards and continued on the adventures with Roland, and I really enjoyed this. Despite it being bigger and a little bit harder, but the story picks up more, you learn more about Roland, you learn more about the search or the quest for the Dark Tower, you meet new characters, and I really enjoy it. So, going to continue the series and hopefully finishing it this year. On audio, I also managed to listen to 2 books this month. I listened to the 2nd and the 3rd installment of the Fred the Vampire Accountant series, and I love this. The narration is done by Kirby Hayborn and he's doing a really good job. The series is focusing on Fred, who's a vampire and who's an accountant, and he really is a normal guy who likes accounting and numbers, so he never changed his life after being turned into a vampire. And this whole series is about little adventures that he has. I really like that it's not one long stretched adventure, but a couple of adventures in each book. By doing this, we don't have one long adventure that might not have enough story, but we have concise adventures which are really fun to read about, and they are enough. You don't need to add more to each of these adventures. All the adventures combined, they are chronologically, you cannot skip around in them because they build up on each other, and the people he meets there are taken into account in later adventures, and it's just evolving. But it's a nice set of adventures and happenings in a person's life that just evolves and goes on, and how he changes and how things change around him, and just, yeah, basically it's the account of a friend, sort of. And I really enjoy it. The only thing I really don't like is that the fourth book is not available on audio, because I think it's out on paper or ebook, but have to double check. And that was my August. It was pretty wild, it was exhausting, but I got a lot of things done, especially thinking and head-wise and also reading-wise. So I'm hoping September will bring a lot more things, especially books. And now, of course, I want to hear how your August was. Tell me all in the comments what you read, what you've done, and looking forward to read them. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.